So rumors are stating that Vibe and Professor Zoom are both to appear in the Flash TV series on CW. Let me start out by talking about Vibe. Honestly, I'm pretty shocked that they added Vibe into the TV series. Reason being because he's really not that popular in the DC universe. So really, nobody really knows him besides the New 52, where he got his own series called Justice League of America's Vibe. And right there, you can tell by that they having to add the JLA title before Vibe is trying to say that he's really not that popular. And we want you guys to read this. And I did read it, and it was very interesting. I really loved it. I'm not, keep on reading it. I read the first few issues, and it shows his origin, which I'm going to be talking about right now. Vibe's origin connects to Darkseid. So when he's in the Flash TV series, which I'm guessing is going to be a few episodes, and they'll have a reason for him leaving, I really can't they probably won't even touch on the origin if it's going to be New 52 related, because if they mention Darkseid, that's going to get really confusing, because one, if they mention Darkseid, then it's automatically going to be saying, okay, Darkseid is in the TV universe, and they're going to have to mention him again, or even get to see him again, and that will get really messy, especially God, I don't want to see Smallville's Darkseid. That was really bad. But if they're ever going to bring Darkseid to the TV universe, honestly, I can't see him entering Flash or the Arrow TV series. It really doesn't make sense. And if they're going to connect it to the cinematic universe, it still wouldn't make sense, because if they're going to talk about his origin, that would be stating that the whole Darkseid invasion had already happened. Now, Vi basically got his powers during the Darkseid invasion, where I think when he entered, Darkseid entered the universe, one of the Darkseid's apocalyptic enemies hit Darkseid, or hit Vibe, sorry. Something happened with that, and that's how he got his powers, and that's why he can tell where people are from different dimensions. His powers are extremely interesting, so it's gonna be really weird to explain them in Arrow. It's gonna be how did you get your powers? I mean, if they couldn't even do that. So honestly, having Vibe in the TV series overall just confuses me. So that leads me to believe that they're just going to go with a really annoying route that Smallville did a lot, and that is either one, have Vibe without his powers and just have him as a normal kid, or two, they're going to completely change everything about him so his powers are different even if he has powers, and they're just going to change everything about him, and only thing that he's basically going to have is okay, his name is right and he's called Vibe. So honestly, I hope CW sticks to his origin a little bit, doesn't really talk too much about Darkseid, and just keeps with his powers and makes something really interesting up, and maybe they can make it to believe and lead into something, bigger. So anyway, I think I talked about enough Vibe, and I want to move on to the biggest topic yet, and that is Professor Zoom. So honestly, we all kind of knew that Professor Zoom was already going to be in the TV series. One, because he's the Flash's #1 villain. That's like having a Batman TV series without the Joker. And number two is, if you did watch the 2 episodes that Barry Allen appeared in the second episode, he talks about his mother's death and about how his father was conflicted or whatever of killing his mother, and he talks about seeing a figure going so fast he couldn't even see. The next thing you know, he's 1,000 miles away from his house, and that figure is most likely Professor Zoom. So right there, I'm okay, Professor Zoom is going to be in the TV series. How? I do not know, and now they basically confirmed it. So honestly, I am pretty excited about seeing Professor Zoom. I mean, it's a whiff off my shoulders. I thought we weren't going to see him at first, and I was really disappointed. Now, there's 2 things I want to talk about here. Number one is, if it's connected to the cinematic universe, then that's going to be pretty interesting, because if the Flash is going to have his own movie in the cinematic universe with a TV show, it leads me to believe that, with all this Flash talk, I really don't think they're going to connect the TV and the cinematic universe. As much as I want it to happen, I can't see the Flash being the same Flash in the cinematic universe. Because if they're going to have Flash have his own movie with a TV show, it really doesn't make sense. I mean, plus, who are they going to make the villain? If they're already going to use most of the villains in the TV series, I mean, it really doesn't make sense to see a Flash movie. And a Flash movie is supposed to happen in, I think, 2017. So it's really, once again, it's another confusing topic on what is really going to happen. So really, we don't really know how Vibe and Professor Zoom are going to be both in the TV series, but we do know that they're most likely going to be in it. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section down below on your thoughts on Professor Zoom and Vibe both are going to be appearing in the CW Flash series. starting, I think, around either spring or fall of 2014. So everybody have a wonderful day and stay classy.